Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. You're here checking out a new map called Wampsville, New York. Got this off of kingmods.net. And this is, in my opinion, a little bit of a unique map. Let me just read through the description here for you. There are 3 editions of this, just to give you an idea of how unique this is. You find yourself in New York, standing at the crossroads of 3 vastly different paths, each one a unique test of your skills, strategy, and ambition. Will you thrive in the modern farming world, battle against untamed nature, or shape the land from the ground up? So the first one is the Forestry Edition. It calls it as NPC Storyline 1. We'll get more into the NPCs here momentarily. Travel back in time before modern agriculture took over. Towering forest and untouched wilderness stand between you and your dreams. Will you carve out a homestead, create sprawling farmlands, or dominate the logging industry? The wild is yours to tame. I'm sorry. It also has a note that this map has increased chances of severe weather events like tornadoes and storms, so be prepared. Sorry about that pause. I had a crazy sneeze attack. We'll just kind of pan around a little bit here as I go through. DIY edition. This is storyline number 2, NPC storyline. The loggers have left, and now the land is yours to shape from scratch. No forest to clear, no fields required to be maintained, just pure creative freedom. Design roads, neighborhoods, and farmlands exactly how you see fit. Will you build the ultimate farming empire, plant some forest, or make a city to just maintain yards and roleplay? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I have gotten into the Homeland or Homestead edition, which is storyline number 3. The fields are prepped, the land is ready. This is farming at its finest. The realistic rural layout and plenty of room for expansion. The only question is, can you turn this land into an agricultural powerhouse? The choice is yours, but one thing is certain. Only the strongest will thrive in Wampsville. Which path will you take? Alright, so some key features. Roleplay friendly, obviously, given you have 3 different options. Mining and forestry opportunities. And yes, I did say mining. We'll get to that shortly. Custom tall grass and tall mixed meadow type for more American style vibe. Produces more yield and taller than the height of base game grass. As I mentioned, there are 3 unique map editions to choose from. I don't believe this is in the mod hub, though there are apparently remarks as far as console maybe? I don't know. Like I said, I got it through King Mods, so that's also where I'm reading this description from. Let's see here. 1 second. I got to tab over and scroll down. All right. This does have custom NPCs, non-playable characters, with mouths. Or I'm sorry, with mouths. With voices. Mouths cannot move as we do not have access to base game NPCs, so we cannot keyframe the mouth movement to our conversations. Understandable. They're doing what they can with what they got. There is an ability to move most NPCs around to different predefined locations, like their new houses once you built them. So, like what we're going to go over now. There's a gentleman there. So I'm assuming that would be his house. That's just a temporary house. I'm wondering if we move him, if that goes away. Same with the gentleman back there. There's a spot to build a home right there. Some of these other ones, it kind of gives you the idea that you can move them. There's even a guy hanging out in that shed. We'll get to that here momentarily, though. As with everything else. Custom sell point with NPC that will explain how to use it. Buys anything with a price and the quantity list from players. Anything on buyable land should be able to be sold or cut down once purchased including but not limited to ponds. So, if we were to buy this land over here, nope, that's not pond. That is, what is that, lavender? It is lavender. Wow. I thought I had a pond on here somewhere. There's a pool. Oh, and speaking of mining, you can mine that up. So that's pretty cool. I love the fact that it kind of gives you an idea that you're in a valley with all this, sheer face rock everywhere. We do have a little bit of a town area over here. Looks like another buildable home. And then some sell points, I'm assuming. Oh, another couple buildable homes over here. All right. That's kind of neat. Looks like another area to mine. Buildable home there. So there's definitely many opportunities to do buildables. Looks like rooms for all these if you wanted to put down buildables and be able to move people around. And they got a pool next to their travel trailer thing. I don't know. I know it's not a travel trailer, but that was the first thing that came to mind. All right. Let's get back to the description. In each map, Kenneth's conversation changes a little bit to fit the predefined development of the map you are playing on. You can paint over the quarries to delete the product if mining is not your thing and you'd rather utilize the space in other ways. Looks like definitely an area over here for forestry, and then you got more mining area. And Kenneth is basically the guy that has replaced Walter for the most part. At least he was the first one. I think Kenneth was the first one I came across. Let's fall down to the ground level. I feel like I might have a sneeze attack coming up here shortly. Sorry, my allergies are kicking my butt lately. So
you need
this is Kenneth. I kind of already, talked to him a little bit just to see what.
This land didn't always look like this. Used to be wild, untamed, just trees, rocks, and dreams. But we saw something more in it. Wasn't just me, though. Lisa, Burkle, Chuck, Briggs, Walter, Ben, David, Katie, Tristan, and Noah. We all had a hand in shaping this place. Chuck swore up and down the ground was humming before we even broke dirt. Said the underground rock lizards weren't happy about it. I say he spent too much time breathing in quarry dust. Burko, that guy was so excited about iron, I thought he was going to try and eat a chunk of ore just to prove a point. We started calling him that 'cause of the Burkell River. Figured it fit, seeing how that river's got a strong history in iron and metalworking, and, well, iron's about the only thing that ever kept his attention longer than 5 minutes. He'd start talking about something else, then bam, right back to iron. Hell, he liked the name so much, he went and made it official. Guess it worked out, though. He got the quarry up and running. Briggs came up with Lizard Incorporated. Said folks needed a place to sell
I like that tie-in.
they could produce. Smart guy. Maybe too smart. Walter and Ben, they put the real work in. Fields, barns, roads, you name it. Wouldn't be anything here without 'em. Katie found a local animal dealer to go get all your barnyard friends, making sure anyone who wanted livestock had a fair shake and making the runs to go get 'em. Noah, well, he handled the forestry side, kept us supplied with timber, and stopped Burkle from digging up half the countryside. And then there's Tristan. He runs the warehouse. If you don't want to go through all the trouble of producing something yourself, he'll sell it to you. For a price, of course. We built it all up piece by piece. Every field, every road, every fence, it all came from folks putting in the work. And now? Well, we're all getting old. A young'un like yourself could buy it off us parcel by parcel, again, for the right price.
Of course.
Then it'll be yours to do with as you please. You need something?
Nope. Thanks for that. Yeah, just that alone, I think, is awesome with how they did that. And there are some collectibles. They're kind of like a billboard looking thing. So when you select it, it kind of gives you some idea of the area, of that particular area that you're at. The store does contain the NPC houses, so you may purchase them and place them where you see fit. Just know the NPCs will not spawn by them unless you place them in the location that the NPCs already moved to. So you can also do pre-purchase or purchasable placeables in the shop. Or looks like sheds, constructibles, containers, tools, factories, and decoration. Should be about the normal stuff. Multiple crop types include alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, millet, spelt, mustard, buckwheat, poppy. He also thanks Iron Thunder for the custom crops. And then he also did a rework of icons, or got rework of icons by D-Top Gaming? Or maybe it's D-Tap, I'm not sure. I can't read that far right now. My eyesight is not the greatest tonight. The custom animal dealer, truck and trailer to truck and trailer, brought to you by Farm Hub Modding. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, American Tallgrass, you have a location choice, initial map development, road mapping and map, Homestead Edition, and more, has been provided by Star Spangled Mods. It looks like one more thing. NPCs, conversations, movable NPCs, Lizard Inc., custom productions and products, simplified NPC constructibles, license plates, custom shop purchase buildings for each map, and map Forestry Edition, and more, brought to you by D-Tap Gaming or D-Top Gaming. I do apologize if I'm messing that up one way or the other. And then the DIY edition is a collaboration between both the... He just says between both of us, so I'm not sure exactly who us is, if it's D-Tap Gaming, if it's Star Spangled Mods, or who all is involved with that. And design choices. So there, I will say there is a required mod. It doesn't specify in here. As far as on kingmods.net, it doesn't specify required mods, but I will say that, well, let's see here. Yeah, it does require the Volvo pack. So this guy. So like I normally do, I try to go into these with as bare minimum mods as possible. So the Power Tools mod being the only one aside from the map. So yeah. We do have some pieces of equipment just kind of sitting out here chilling. But let's kind of go this route as far as checking out what we got. So we do have several different tractors, actually. AGCO 8810. We got our plow, which I hate that plow. And while I'm thankful that a lot of these map makers don't do some of the actual mods, I still hate it. And I hate the fact that I have to go in and sell it to get it set up the way I want. We do have a water tank trailer. Looks like a spreader for lime and fertilizer. Solid fert, yeah. We do have a Case IH harvester with a Terraflex 25-foot header. Round baler. Case IH. Challenger MT665 tractor. Ooh. Only 225 horse. All right. Not too bad. I've never used this particular one. I hope you guys can see this just fine. If you're on your phone, I do apologize. This is the Dalbo PowerChain 800. I believe it's a cultivator. I've never used this particular one yet. I may give it a shot. We do have a rock picker. It looks like just a standard base game one. Standard grain trailer. Looks like another grain trailer. Flegel ASW 271. The other one was a FarmTech EDK 650. Of course, standard planter. Great Plains Solid Stand 1500. We do have our International Series 200 pickup truck. Ooh, John Deere 3650. And a 7R 350. Nice. So 3650, we have 116 horse. With the 7R, it's 388 horse. Nice. We do have a setup for, what is that? Why am I blanking? Forage harvesting. Gosh. Sorry, guys. Don't know why I was blanking on that. We do have it set up to where I believe it's connected to the 7R right now. So we'll go check that out here momentarily. Crone Swadro, basically because we do have cattle already. K-Brand Maxima 3TIL. Manure spreader. Well, one of these is... okay, this one's a straw spreader, so it's not manure. This one looks like it's almost like an auger wagon. K-Brand RA142. It looks like it's designed to pick up straw swaths, things like that. Header wagon, mower, Volvo dump truck, essentially. Front loader for Volvo with the bucket. Where is that? Ooh, over here. That's right. So we got our pickup there. And this is the setup that they have for forage harvesting. So we got this trailer hooked up for that, ready to go. We got our white trailer, Agco, white, John Deere 3650. I was right, it is on the 7R. And our Challenger. So that's what we got going on over here. We do have a silage pit for us to make silage. Obviously it's empty. Everything is just dirty as can be. So, I don't know. They should have running water out here, so we'll have to get some pressure washers going. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of this particular barn. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I'll show you why. So we're going to open up this side. Which is fine, because if we need to get over here, we can get to it. But if we leave that open, so, see, we got that open. We don't have the option to open down here. Now, I do like the fact that when it opens, it removes the posts. So, we're going to have that closed. We're going to come down here and open this side. Now, I get it. You know, we only have so much room for sliding these doors around. But it would be nice even if we could have that side and that side open, but no. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan about this particular shed. I might make it work, just so I can make it work, but yeah. And we got that up. So, we do have sell points, kind of scattered around. Like I said, I think down in that town area, I believe we have some sell points, but... But yeah, this is a very interesting map. I didn't really expect all of this by any means when I first got into it. So, yeah, it's taken me a little bit to figure out and how I want to go about this. Okay, so that's a TMR mixer, it looks like, and that's got to be the straw spreader, or spreader, or whatever you want to call it. And they have this set up as a flatbed. Okay. We do have a repair shop over here. And of course, this is where we can get water from. Stop. Employees only. Notice CCTV in use. Why is there one all the way up top there? I'm not a big fan of the fact that it's got windows up there. That makes me think that we could go into it, but no. So, one last thing before we call it a day. Just want to give you guys an idea of what you start out with. So we don't own this stuff up here. I mean, we can buy the areas, but as you can see, we could even buy the farmlands there for the homes. So this has got to be like the shop area. Yeah, so we do have this. Tell the NPCs to take a train to somewhere else. Basically get them to leave. But we have NPCs everywhere. So we got all those guys up there. All the yellow ones, if you can see the yellows. Again, I apologize if you're on your phone and you don't have the greatest of picture. But you got 3, 4, 5 down in this area. Oh, and you got iron right there if you wanted iron. It doesn't say what the other ones are offhand, but that's stone. So I guess if you want, instead of collecting your stones from your field, you can come over here and just get them that way. Hello, Mr. Train. So we do start off with a few different plots of land. So not a bad thing. You got 3, 4, 5, 6 actual plots of land outside of the farm itself. 7 if you include this spot over here. As far as grassland goes. So you do start off with quite a bit, and the equipment you start off with quite a bit. So we do only have apparently one large barn. We have 2 different types of cattle in it. So you got the limousines, and then we have the Angus. So the limousines look like we should be able to get milk nearby. Oh, and we don't have a manure heap nearby, so we'll have to fix that. It's almost like they... Oh, and I love the fact that we have to mow it inside our shed, or where we can put all of our chainsaws and spray paint and horse brushes. So this is actually decent area. May come in and just paint it all as meadow, but we'll see. We do have a bale shed as well. Automated bale shed, so you drop them up here and they automatically go in. Of course, we do have a spot where if we need to bring them out, we can. Yeah, this is definitely a decent sized pasture. And I kind of wish that... I haven't checked it, but I think we've had an update or two since the update that kind of broke the fences. I need to take a look, see if that's still a thing as far as being broken. Because I may try to come in here and make a fence around that and get rid of this fence. Because I would like to be able to have an easier way, maybe down there, of getting a tractor in here. So if we need to mow this up and bale it up, we can. Oh, someone's got the zoomies. They're so adorable. Otherwise, we do have a gate here on both sides that we could always come in and do that. So that's kind of where we stand on this one. Here in Wampsville, New York. What a name. But the fact that these guys have put so much time and effort into a map that basically gives you 3 different editions, and it gives you reasons why there are 3, and they've kind of worked it into the map. Sorry, I'm just seeing if there's anything hiding in there. I just think it's amazing, and the time and effort is just mind-boggling that someone would do that. Not saying that's a bad thing by any means, but kudos to the map makers. As always, I'll have them tagged or, you know, somewhere in the description, possibly. So at least that way you guys can go check it out for yourself. Like I said, it's called Wampsville, New York. That's how you spell it right there. So guys, you know the drill. If you happen to like what you see, or catch yourself watching more than one of my videos, please do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That bell will let you be notified of every single video I post, and not just like a few here and there. If you made it this far in the video, guys, I want to say thank you and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Hello. How are you doing, sir? So guys, with all that being said, we will catch you in the next episode, so take care. Peace.